Internet outrage has destroyed the way we communicate. Everyone's angry, everyone's canceled, and nobody is allowed to think for themselves. So we're here to fix that. Welcome to Subtweet THIS.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Gothix, and welcome back to another episode of Subtweet THIS. I am here with an amazing guest for you today. Everyone say hello to Jeremy, aka The Quartering. How are you, Jeremy?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I am so stoked that you are here. I am in the midst of a celebrity, so thank you.
Oh, please never call me that again. Or and don't call me an influencer either. That's like another.
I mean, you guys.
I love that.
You guys were kind of brought together by a common evil that was attacking both of you. You know, a common evil brought you together.
I'd seen a couple of her rants on Twitter before, but yeah, then we were united as one.
You just got right into it. Okay, forget the first one.
I didn't mean to get into it. I mean, what do you want to do? I don't know.
I mean, but it's true. It's true. We'll get into that. We might get into that a little bit later. But so I want to know, first of all, I took a look at your YouTube channel, and I went all the way back. I wanted to see what you were uploading way back then. So how did you go from making content about Magic the Gathering to where you are now? Like, what happened there?
Well, I think the inflection point was the first time I had experienced cancel culture in that community. So there was, I don't even remember what it was exactly that I had said. It's so long ago, but I remember that the company came out and like disavowed me publicly on Reddit because I had said, I'd pointed out, it was some, in my younger days, I was a little more crass, but I knew that I didn't like PC culture, and they'd come out and said something, and then like I got sucked in and I actually apologized. I think when you're, the first time you go through that, you're like, well, okay, well, it's just the easy path of least resistance. I'm just going to apologize. And then I remember waking up feeling like total garbage, and I was like getting gaslit. Like, what do you mean? Like, no. I'm right. Like, I'm not wrong. I'm not going to apologize for this. And then, I think it was something like calling out virtue signaling about, Magic the Gathering is extraordinarily woke nowadays. I think they had Hassan shilling for them yesterday, like literally. So it was something along those lines. But anyway, yeah, that's when I was kind of grew up overnight, because I was like, oh, wow, these people are really, really angry. And it was all these people that I'd never talked to before. And it was nuts.
You wouldn't really expect to see that in the card gaming, because like you go in there, you go into those, because I used to play Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and all that stuff, and it's like you go into there and it's like, yo, you want to play? You play, and that's it. Like there wasn't. I mean, you flip a table. There's like flipping tables and throwing cards. That's about it. But like never really I didn't think it was a whole woke PC culture in there.
Yeah, well, like many things, I think that there is the two communities. There's the online community that now I understand how they use modern culture, as a vehicle really for their personal politics. If you go into any local card shop, you don't run into any of these people. Like, there are people that are certainly, I would say the game, most people are pretty liberal, but like you're not getting anyone getting in your face, or they're just happy to have someone to play with. Because if you've been playing like as long as I have, like we were the outcasts, so like we weren't kicking anybody out, the idea that all of a sudden there was like an in group in this game was disgusting. And so I was just as shocked, really. But again, these are people that they play the game, but they're more interested in like pushing a political agenda using that vehicle.
Well, so would you say it wasn't the game itself, it was just the scene and the people that became a little bit more PC than
exactly
community, which sucks because the community is what makes it great.
Yeah, you can't play, you can't play the game by yourself, and you can't play it at like Target or Walmart. Now you can play online, but it's one of those games that is just you want to play it. There's nothing quite like, you know, playing, sitting across the table and, you know, having like Dorito dust on your fingers and playing and like playing the game. It's just not the same as playing on the computer.
Nothing like having your cards doing that switch because you know you're about to do some wild
Yeah.
shit. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
You about to get man, I'm about to tap the shit out of this. You get trampled, boy. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's not the same online, you know.
So,
Yeah, you can't watch them squirm.
So
Yeah.
that is very interesting to hear how you started getting into this, because that's very similar to my situation where I went through that first thing of cancel culture and then something just got triggered up here and I said, I gotta start talking about this because people are nuts. Again, like these two over here mentioned, it's very odd that it even goes as far as a card game. Something that is supposed to be enjoyable, not political. No, it should not have any SJW essence to it. So that's very interesting.
It infects all communities. I mean, there's a couple of articles. I remember this was like maybe 3 years ago. The knitting community is like super woke. It's weird, but I mean, it is.
I could probably make like a whole section on why that shit got woke. It all goes back to the age of slavery and freaking.
Oh yeah,
I could sit there and make up a whole bunch of nonsense that's probably not even true, but
that could
somebody believe it.
Yeah, I've never seen like the rhetoric, but I've gotten emails because, you know, I'll cover cancel culture, and a lot of times I'll get emails, and you all probably do too, where it's like, oh my god, you know, check out this. Like, I didn't know the metal community like it was, you know, they have a, you know, kind of this SJW infection in metal, and they do. In the tattoo industry, every industry has it, you know. It's so weird. I thought it was unique to Magic, but then I understood that it's driven, I think, at least how I believe it works, is driven by people who don't have any self-identity or any self, like, so they become their politics, and then it just gets into everything. Like they don't actually like Star Wars. They don't have an opinion on it, but they do have political opinions, and that's what they really want to talk about. So then they slither into these communities and destroy them from the inside.
I noticed the same thing. The same observation is people that seem to partake in cancel culture. I think that I'm not sure if they legitimately feel like they're doing something good, but I wonder if they do this because they don't have, I don't know, like they're looking and they want to be a part of something. They want to be a part of the cool kids group, or it like, even when I don't know if you can speak to this because we did search YouTube. I wanted to get an idea of what the community thinks of you.
Sure.
And how often do you have people make content about you like that? Like, how the first time that you got canceled, like, how was that, like one of the instant things that started happening, or did that take a while?
Nobody really made any videos back then, but it was like Reddit and Twitter. Nowadays, there's a handful of creators that make a video on me every week, basically. And I don't even like, you can't get Drake. So one lesson I try to teach fellow content creators about this kind of stuff is either like hook them up to a plow and farm money with it, or farm money with them, or like just don't, because they win when they waste your time. And you know, it's just, you could spend all day with this infighting, justifying yourself to somebody who really doesn't care what your opinion is. So nowadays there's a whole economy about making content about content that I make, which is sad, but hey, I respect their hustle and get paid. That's fine by me.
I mean, right.
No, I was just going to say that I would argue that really isn't content creation, though. Like, to me, I don't know, like, I think you have a really good mix of your type of content on your channel. You do a variety of things, but I have sat through a lot of content creators who have made content about my content. Like, they'll have my video and just have commentary of them just like being a jerk. And it's like, content. You're making money off of, you're not creating anything original. And I don't understand why, if someone doesn't agree with an opinion that they see online, why don't they just counter it with their own opinion instead of, let me destroy what this person is saying to validate how I feel?
You know, it's interesting. So 2016 YouTube was really driven by that type of content, response videos. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember that, but that was big, response videos, like bearing on the whole like Sargon of Akkad and all this stuff. They all got really big doing response videos. Now basically everyone's moved on except for BreadTube, which still does them. And quite honestly, they're against YouTube's terms of service. And they live in a really dangerous gray area. YouTube doesn't want this type of content on their platform. I'm not saying I have a problem with it, but I'm saying they do. They view this as creator on creator harassment. And it's generally okay as long as they're a bigger creator. But once you start getting into the power dynamic the other way, all of a sudden now it's not okay, which is a BS double standard on YouTube. It's either okay for me with 1 million subs to roast somebody or it's not. Like either I can make that video or not. But for whatever reason, now there's that economy specifically on the left. I don't know if people on the right even do it anymore, to be honest with you.
We saw that with when the YouTube just got rid of Leafy, because I watched Leafy videos a lot, and like he would just talk about other people, and and it wasn't until he mentioned one specific golden child of Twitch and YouTube, everybody was just like, oh no, get rid of him. And but if you like you guys said, you have content creators who's just making fun of your videos and attacking you and like commenting on yours. Like, you guys got rid of Leafy for that. Why are you catering to these people now? And you also getting rid of they got rid of Leafy. They're trying to get was it Sargon? It's not Sargon, it's somebody else.
Sargon got demonetized, but I mean, like I saw yesterday, Salty Cracker deleted all of his videos off his YouTube channel
because
he's afraid they're gonna ban him. I haven't reached out yet, but yeah, it's weird.
I think YouTube just wants to cater to these people because, like, they use those trigger words. They're like, well, I'm this person. I'm XYZ ABCDEFG, and they're gonna go, okay, you know what? Because they're that, we gotta get rid of this person because we don't want to look like we're hurting this demographic of people. When it's like that demographic of people don't really care. They just ride in the fucking wave and then disappear. But like these people are actually bringing in, making actual content, doing the video edit. They have families to feed. They have I know you pay your whole staff team. And some of these guys, like, I don't get why YouTube does. I don't get why big companies listen to people that don't give a shit.
Well, you're right. It's so nakedly obvious, especially in like Gothic's case, for example, where you have to deal with the like, well, you're a walk, but not the right walk, so you're not provided the same like we saw this in the letter that was written to YouTube about me, right?
Yes.
This person knew every word to say, and they hit every one of them. Like, I don't feel safe. That's a code
That's
word.
the first one.
Yeah,
safe.
I don't
safety.
feel safe. I'm a woman of color. And I don't think, like you said, I know they don't care, but they know how to manipulate the system.
Right.
Yeah. And that's a good segue into the first question. Actually, you got it.
yeah. Actually, did you want to go into it? Or you want me to lead?
I'll do it. I'll take this duck. All right. So, you recently had a talk with YouTube's upper management involved in a situation with a particular content creator. We won't say their name, but we all know who we're talking about, right? And this person tried to get their hordes of woke zombies and fans to come after you and falsely flag videos. On top of that, they also said that they accuse you of swatting them also. After that meeting with YouTube and about that situation, do you think that YouTube is going to continue to enforce their TOS, or is it going to go back to like we just spoke about, where they're going to, because this person fits all these check marks, we're going to not really criticize or like punish them, but because you are the bad thing right now, you're the bad white man, you're the issue. So after that meeting, do you think like there's going to be change, or what's going to happen?
Oh, no. Yeah, it's just going to get way worse. I mean, it's not. I mean, YouTube has long had a double standard for creators. And I'm not talking about like a particular like minority group versus non-minority group. I mean, just in general, they don't enforce their own rules equally across the board. We saw a small commentator tipster got denied his silver play button, which costs YouTube like a nickel, and they never told him why. 5 years ago, everyone got them when you got 100,000 subscribers. When I talked to them, quite frankly, they leaned on you're a big channel, you're not allowed to dunk on small channels. But what I tried to explain to them was that this channel has a lot of power. The head of YouTube Gaming was actively engaging in the conversation about trying in the thread of trying to deplatform me. Like, you have to understand that like this person gets a lot of power, or has the same amount of power or more than I do. And I, of course, I acknowledge that. Look, I make a video about somebody, people are going to go and be mean to them, and that sucks. I don't endorse that. I don't know what else I can do, besides saying, please don't do this. I asked them, what else can I do? Because I don't want this. But I mean, come on, like, obviously people, I can't control them. And they basically said, there's nothing more you can do. Just don't make fun of small creators.
But you weren't
essentially
making fun. You just made,
don't call out small creators, basically.
Don't criticize. Why are people exempt from criticism? Because that's the thing, is you can't control or moderate what your community does. You can be very clear, I am against cancel culture, please don't go harass this person, but someone's going to do whatever they're going to do. You can't control that. It's unreasonable.
So with the evidence you provided YouTube about this particular content creator, did they just go, well, we're not talking about them, we're talking about you? Or did they go, we'd further look at the evidence to see if there's anything we could do?
What they said was, we didn't take down any of your videos and we didn't issue any strikes.
What? So
that's what they said. That's what they said. Yeah.
So saying you're lucky, basically.
Yeah.
Take your money away. Take away sponsors. Make false claims. Verbally berate you. And make their community from all over, big, small, whatever, could attack you. You're just lucky they didn't take down the videos.
That's exactly right. Yeah, they said
that is the biggest piece of bullshit I ever fucking heard in my life.
Yeah, I laid it out pretty clear. I said, look, this is textbook harassment. I mean, I don't know what else. What else? I mean, here's archive threads of them, going, they're doing this. Here's your own employee engaging in the conversation.
Yeah.
Here's people saying they're going to flag my videos. Here's your own employee saying he's flagging my videos, and they're basically like, listen, player, you got a pretty good thing going here. And that's basically the reply. Yeah,
dude. I hope that you're still going with legal processes against this, because that is fucking bullshit. That's pretty much the judge just saying, well, you know what, you got more money, so you just be lucky we didn't take all your money. But look how much they're suffering, even though you could have not been able to. Your family could have been out of the home. Your employees could have been out of work. But look, they're suffering because they have all these check marks. They have all these boxes. They got all the right boxes marked. And you're just a white man. Don't worry, you'll bounce back. You're white. You'll be all right.
Yeah, well, it all goes back to what is it? The soft bigotry of low expectations. I think it's really got to be frustrating to think like, oh, because you're in a minority group, you can't handle criticism. Like that's racist.
Right.
Like that's just and it's but I mean, essentially that's the way it played out. They're like, look, you didn't break. They basically said, hey, read between the lines, my friend. Like,
some bullshit right there.
I remember when you talked about legal action, but of course that would just cost an unnecessary amount of money. But I remember I talked with Vanessa on this, that would be the only way that people would truly understand to not engage in cancel culture, is when you really start, defamation is a thing. And I think the fact that people haven't been doing that are the reason why people are so comfortable doing it now. It's not like anyone can just have the funds to just sue someone. But the second, when I remember there was an announcement of, even you thinking of pursuing that, I was like, that's the only way to me that people would wake up and be like, okay, this is a real thing. Probably shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah. So the fact that I can't answer about any legal stuff should tell you something.
Uh-huh.
But
Good.
the
Fucking good, bro.
the it is true. So you have to be willing to, I'm just speaking generally here. You have to be willing to lose money. So I could crowdfund 20 grand, right? Easy, especially for something like this. Now, I'm probably not going to win in court, but you know what's going to happen? The person I'm taking to court is going to have to spend 20 grand defending themselves too. So they lose, like no matter what, they lose. And more people do need to push back with this stuff. Like even Gina Carano, like that politician that said heinous things about her and then even admitted like, whoopsie, I did a defamation. Like, she should sue her. Like she's got the money. She's a multimillionaire. Just drag that politician for 100 grand, tie her up in court, and she'll probably think twice. There's a roaming, the thing is cancel culture went from this thing that happened once in a while to now, like, especially on Twitter, you just have these roving mobs of people that aren't really engaged in anything. But again, they identify as this, I am a morally good person and I'm going to, ruin this person's life. I don't really care about the situation. I'm not involved, but this is who I am. And it's, I think, deeply reflective of their own sadness and inability to deal with why their life isn't going maybe the way they wanted.
I always say that people that involve themselves in cancel culture don't really get mad about the cause that they say that they're defending. I think they just get mad that they're associating themselves with the cause.
Yeah.
So if they agree with something and you have your thoughts on it, I think they just get mad because they're associating themselves with that cause. So it's more of a selfish reason, because when you try to ask them for logic of why you defending this, they don't provide you with anything but just emotions. So when they're just giving you emotions, it's just because they're associating themselves. So it's like they're being offended. It's not so much the movement or whatever that they're supporting. Yeah,
I'm offended. Why? I don't know. I just I just am, and it's really weird, but I think this all, circles around this identity, how someone identifies themselves. We see this all the time in like the LGBTQ community. Like, okay, if you're gay, cool, but like then people make their whole personality around that, and then they get over invested in certain things, and then they don't really build their self up. And I think that's what people really need to look inward more than trying to, how do I say it? It's just a character trait. It's not who you are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've talked about this in like the last 2 episodes that we recorded with people in the LGBT. There's more to you than just your gender or your sexuality or your skin color.
Ethnicity,
yeah. But let me circle back, because so what these two were saying, I feel like the way to get on this other side of cancel culture is ultimately going to be holding the people that are holding others accountable on the internet, holding them accountable. Because I find that a lot of people that engage with cancel culture, it's like this giant game of telephone in a way, where someone will take one thing and they might skew it, and by the time 20 people hear it, now you're all these different labels and all these different things until you've taken them to court. Like, there's not ever going to be that, okay, I need to stop doing that, because that's not how you resolve conflict.
Yeah, I think that and in terms of like the telephone game, by the time the mob is like at full froth, nobody even remembers why they're mad. They just know that they have this target and that they'll be a better person if they remove that target. But then they find that once they've completed that goal, that they're still empty inside. So then they go and they move on to the next target. I bet you if somebody did some like the analytical work, the data's there, somebody much smarter than me, I'd be willing to bet there's a strong, like in the Venn diagram of topics, I bet you there's a huge percentage of people that just participate in everything, even though they're not affiliated with it in any way at all.
Well, look at your situation. The person that was going after you went after me like months prior. And it's interesting because you have your situation with YouTube and I have my situation with Twitch, where I've tried reporting this bad behavior because it clearly breaks their terms of service, and it's just silence. They don't respond, they don't say anything, and I can't help but think they are very biased and are catering to a specific ideology, woke ideology. I don't know.
Well, I think there's also a good bit of fear mixed in there too. Like, they know that if they were to come down on a particular creator, that it would be a big hullabaloo. You know, it'd be a big thing about Twitch doesn't care about black creators.
Well,
then
then let them fucking huff and puff. Like you broke the rules. You broke the rules. Now you deal with the consequences. Like 100%. Like I let it be known on Twitter. Like, any of you motherfuckers try that shit, I have a lawyer in standby ready. I have my own lawyer ready to go. You gonna say some wild shit about me? I'm gonna find out who started. I'm like, I'm suing you now. I'm suing for defamation of character, and I will play it up. I can't sleep at night. I'm afraid for my safety. I have mental issues. Yeah. I'm having mental breakdowns. I can't go to work. Now I'm losing money. I feel I'm losing money. I can't provide. Now I'm gonna sue you. I'll make sure I get every dime from fucking you now. Because you want to take money away from me. Watch me take money away from you, because you're gonna have to get the money together to get the lawyer. Then you better hope you win, because if you lose, I'm gonna be getting money from you. I'm gonna make it maximum a year's salary of freaking 90 grand.
Well, depending on this show, you might have to do that.
Like, good. Listen,
yeah,
I'm gonna come. I'm just listen.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. But I'll tell you this. I don't know if any of you have been through a lawsuit before, but it's extraordinarily painful, even when you're like 100% in the right. Like, I went through, I was like 100% in the right, and it still cost me over 50 grand. Now, I know that it cost them just as much, so it's like, okay, so that's my win, right? Like, okay, I drained your bank accounts. You had to defend these actions and beg for forgiveness near the end. But like, it is extraordinarily painful. And a lot of these people that say it's not cancel culture, it's accountability culture, they have no idea what accountability really is.
What would you describe cancel culture as?
I mean, the nearest thing I can describe it to is like literal cancer. I don't know, cancel culture is a religion. It's a cult of empty people, and this is where they find their fulfillment. And it's by the way, it'll never go away. It's just always going to be, as long as this behavior is rewarded, then it will. There are legitimate cancellation campaigns, I believe, but it's a fraction of what really is out there. People get upset over words, or somebody made a freaking mistake 10 years ago. Are we going to ruin their life for it? Or it's like, I don't know, privilege too. Like,
I hate that word, but yes, like
unironically though, like I say this in my videos, like it's unironic privilege that you're upset about somebody you never met,
right?
Some crap they wrote on Reddit 8 years ago. Like, man, your life must be awesome.
Right.
If that's your biggest problem.
I just think these people should go into like the FBI or CIA, because if they could freaking do that much research and digging to pull that shit up, why aren't you not getting paid for that shit?
Yeah,
like, right. You do it for free. Isn't that exhausting?
Do you all remember? He Will Not Divide Us?
Yes.
Where Shia LaBeouf was like hiding the flag, and like 4chan was figuring it out using like constellations in the sky and flight patterns. I'm like, man, you did it for memes. Like, there were probably some legitimate geniuses that took part in that and just never got paid for it.
Was there any particular, I mean, I don't know if you just answered it because you said that there was this one court case that was pretty bad. Was there a specific cancellation where you were just like exhausted, like it was the worst one?
I mean, Roseanne was not great. The James Gunn versus Roseanne really was bad. The James Gunn stuff, he had made some borderline questionable comments and jokes, and Roseanne, I I don't remember. She said, was it Donna Brazil? Who did she make fun of? I don't remember, but it was a spicy joke. But anyway, they canceled her. And it's like, man, this is like Roseanne is like a freaking role model. She's like one of the most popular female comedians. And they're like, but look at this one time she baked cookies that look like Hitler or something like that. I'm like, you know, Sarah Silverman dressed up like Hitler on the Tonight Show, and you guys didn't have a problem with that because she's a progressive.
Well, you saw what happened with her, right? I mean, you even did a video on it where like she was all for like, yeah, fuck this guy, cancel everybody. Then the own people she was rooting for and like backing up, they were like, now we're coming for you. And she got her canceled. Now she's like, why can't people just move away from their past?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I hate that. Yes. So she voted. She was all blue, like Biden, cancel culture A1. Then cancel culture flipped it and was like, now we coming for your ass. And now she's like, I have to leave my political party. I don't even want to be part of political parties because now they're attacking each other and I can't escape my past. Like, why can't we just move on? Like, the most progressive group isn't really progressive. And it's kind of like, oh, did you think you were safe? Did you think the people that you were rallying weren't going to attack you? It's like it's like the dog biting the hand that feeds it. You fed them and now they're biting you. Like, you moron.
Yeah.
You weren't safe.
You live by the sword, right?
You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yeah, that was a hilarious video to watch her like realize in real time. You know, I was like, you really thought that you were gonna get the kids out of cages by voting for, without, I don't want to get into like hard politics, but everybody who's very progressive, if they voted for Joe Biden, has to have mad buyer's remorse right now. And that's what I think she's feeling, and other people that, maybe the people that were very progressive that were like, well, it's not Bernie, but it's not Trump. And then he betrayed them.
I think the bright side is that people, even with her, even though she had that realization, a lot of people are never going to get to that stage because a lot of people are stubborn. But I think that, on the bright side, people are going to be able to observe things and pay attention, because I get this feeling that a lot of people, at least that I have personally encountered, because I know I'm going to get some comments about this, is a lot of people on the left are very emotional, and it's to the point where they don't even want to have a conversation. They just nope, let's shut down this conversation. I don't want to hear what you have to say. And that's just not how the world works. Why have we lost the ability to communicate? I don't get it.
Well, everything's built around incentivizing our own echo chambers. I mean, the way that algorithms work on YouTube and on Twitter, you only see stuff you agree with. So then people get soft. Right. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I'm seeing something I don't agree with. What is this? Mm-hmm. And they don't know how to handle it. I often talk about, like, you see all these like weirdos on Twitter. You don't meet people like that on the street. I never have. I go to the pub, everyone, various political parties. No one's like nonstop talking politics. Nobody cares. Everyone's just, either just trying to get by or just trying to blow off some steam or whatever. So I think that, social media is a net negative for the, for communication between people.
Oh yeah.
I think they definitely feel super safe to just do it, because you could talk all this shit about politics and call people names and not get punched in the mouth. But if you go to a pub and do that stuff, you're gonna get punched in the mouth by somebody, and that's the realization people need to understand.
I always say
the real world is different.
Definitely didn't make it easier, because now everyone's just always inside, and just those months that we all stayed inside.
Yep.
Yeah, the mental health was definitely a thing. But
we didn't. We didn't try to go cancel anybody.
No, we didn't. But a lot of,
I would say that took a toll on
a
lot of people.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't want it shouldn't have happened, but let's just say everyone now there was already like kind of mental health issues going on, and then when that happened, that just exacerbated things 10 times worse. And so and then people get engaged more on cancel culture, if anything, because
it accelerated, basically everybody you got a higher dose of whatever you were getting before, at least, you'd be driving to work, you'd be working all day. Now people are sitting at home on Twitter and whatever social media networks or Facebook, and they're just reinforcing their echo chamber. And then it becomes, that there's zero possibility that they could be wrong. And because they've never even seen anybody disagree with them. And about being locked up inside and stuff too. One thing that I've never understood, and maybe this is just because I'm such an amazing guy, I never understood people on Twitter who will just willingly make up a heinous lie about somebody. But I see it all the time. I see like people say stuff about me. I'm like, this is not even based in, this isn't even like a misclip or whatever. This is just 100% absurd lie. And it'll get like, a bunch of retweets. Nobody's asking like, yo, is this really happen? No, they don't care.
No, those are the same people who could dig up tweets from you from 60 years ago. But to fact check is like, that's too much work. Why would I fact check?
I think
I already don't like this person. So,
exactly.
Don't fact check.
I think it's just very concerning. I don't know. I would say it's concerning for someone to fabricate something about you. Like, for example, recently this term white supremacist has been throwing around left and right. And what
does it even mean anymore?
Exactly. It has lost its meaning entirely. Yeah. And before me and you ever touched base, I remember seeing people fling these insults about you. And I wasn't really looking at your content back then. And so I said, let me actually check this guy out. I'm hearing white supremacist, I'm hearing Nazi, I'm hearing racist, and I'm listening to your content. And I'm like, I don't see any of this. I don't understand. So it's concerning that there are people that will go along with it and just, oh, yes, he is a white supremacist. Explain that. I believe there is an obligation to explain that, especially if you're labeling someone so heinous. These are dangerous terms.
It's very frustrating because you can go at it either way. So you can go at it from are we going to fact check this? Are we just spreading lies? Or you can go like, you want to get like I can get woke for a minute here. Like, you calling me a white supremacist is like super disrespectful to victims of actual white supremacy. And the fact that you can't back that up and you're watering down like the heinous things that were done to people is disgusting. Like, right. When you call on people, Mr. Mustache from World War II, like bro, like 6 million Jews died. Like, let's put some respect on that name instead of just somebody I disagree with on a political opinion. And it's just thrown around so much now that it's lost all meaning.
Right.
I think it's like half the words that's thrown out, like racist, white supremacist, like everything's just thrown out. It's like, it's just such an easy word just to throw out. And like, I like Vanessa was saying, like I was watching your content like way back when you started talking about like how Ray was a Mary Sue character. I was watching stuff. I was like, and when somebody was saying he's a white supremacist, I was like, that makes zero sense and that's bullshit. But like, we're just using it. It's like the words lose their effect when you keep using it. But I think these big corporations, when they hear it, they just like, oh shit, maybe they're right. We don't want to look bad. We got to cover face. I mean, you've done plenty of videos on like how with Disney with the Mandalorian was the main one to freaking like kind of just roll over his belly and be like, okay, we're just gonna get rid of her because a lot of people are saying this stuff about her, and we don't want to upset the fans. When the fans are like, we don't care about what happened, like that's that. We care about the character and the actress. You are listening to people who don't even probably watch the show, don't give two shits about your show, and don't even have a Disney Plus subscription. So why are you catering to these people?
Yeah, I've often said like next year, season 3 of The Mandalorian, a lot of people are going to wonder what happened to Cara Dune because like people get sucked into this. Twitter is everywhere and everything, and everyone must spend all day on Twitter. But Twitter is not even representative of like the cross section of society in the United States. It's mostly upper middle class white girls that use it. Like, it's not even it's not a good representation. It's still a small percentage of people. It has a huge bot problem, and it's so easy to just remove somebody. There was maybe 500 people. Like the things they say about Rosario Dawson, calling her transphobic and all this stuff. Like based on what? Based on what?
Based on that, I don't know if you heard the story, but did you?
I do know.
I knew the story. I learned the story from you. That there was a resident that she had in one of her buildings, and because when the resident came out that she was trans, her family was just like, okay, like they didn't throw her a party, so they felt like they didn't really care about it.
Yeah, and like, then they also dropped all. They tried suing her, and then they dropped. I'm like, first of all, I'm like, isn't she married to Cory Booker or dating Cory? Like this woman is very progressive. You got to pick your spots. Like I don't understand. And of course, the person that it was their handy person, I believe that transitioned, and then like made up all these lies, and then dropped every single claim except for one, which they won't win either.
But people still ran with that and was like, Rosario Dawson is transphobic. Like you listen to one person but everybody just heard she's transphobic because of XYZ. Nobody listens to the whole, the person dropped their accusations because it was actually a lie.
Yeah, it's come up it's sparked up at least twice since the person dropped their claim and said, that none of this happened, but people just ignore it. It's the same thing as speaking of words that are now worthless, grooming. Mm-hmm. Like now it's like, oh, well, this person sent a text to somebody they didn't know. Like when I hear that word, I'm thinking like kind of the worst of the worst, not like some stupid content creator that accidentally sent was chatting to somebody who was 19 or 18 when they were 22. Like that's not grooming. Like get out of here. You want to talk about abuse of the power dynamic? We can talk about that. We can have a conversation about that. But these dudes, and then now Gen Z's growing up thinking like, oh, somebody's sending a text to somebody who is 17 when they're 20 as a groomer, and now actual people that want to like prepare young children for terrible things. I don't know,
because I dove down one of those rabbit holes and I saw this whole thread of like girls on TikTok saying like, I'm 14 and I bagged like a 19-year-old and stuff. Like they're glamorizing being young and hooking up with older dudes and everything. Like,
well, that's not, that's TikTok society. I think
you mentioned TikTok, so
yeah.
But then I got suspended for asking a question because they said it was hate speech and it was just a question. But you can have that. All right.
Oh yeah. What was the question?
So it was this young, I would say maybe Generation Z, white guy who was very angry about the Capitol insurrection.
Right. We had another one of those yesterday. I know you probably missed it. There were no headlines, but there was another one yesterday.
No, it wasn't an agenda to push.
I heard. Was it another white supremacist? Was that it?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. One. I think a white supremacist from who worshipped the Nation of Islam. Actually.
Yeah. I heard about
Farrakhan guy. Yeah.
So he was influenced by white supremacy. That's what it was.
Right. He identified as white. Yeah.
So like my situation on TikTok, it literally was when this guy, he was screaming about the Capitol incident, and he said, well, if black people tried doing this, there would be bloodshed. And I said,
the Black Panthers. Okay, so go on. Sorry.
Well, no, I responded and I said, well, how do you know that? How do you know that's a feeling? And then he also said in the video that black people are oppressed, and I'm like, no, they're not. no, they're not. No. Because I do not believe it is. I believe that a lot of people are assuming the role of being oppressed right now. You want to talk about oppression, go to a different country because it's not in America.
Well, it's a currency that's a problem right now, and it obviously coming from a black man as myself, but like I feel like, all right, okay, I'm gonna give you one of these. All right. I feel like that this currency is negative for like the future generations to always be looking at this mystery force holding them down. It creates a reason to not try, and it gives you this easy out to blame everything on. And this is not good. I'm surprised the black community doesn't push more against it. Like, yo, no, we can get out there and do it. There's not this invisible force holding us back all the time. But it's weird. Like if you say that, this is also probably, obviously, this is a black community thing that I see. If you say that, then you're not black.
Oh yeah,
Like Joe Biden says, you're not black. You're not black enough now. Yeah, it's a weird thing.
You got called a white supremacist by a YouTuber not so long ago.
By a YouTuber you made a video on, and this YouTuber advocates for owning child pornography.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I haven't heard
a white supremacist. Imagine. Anyway,
but it's funny that.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
I was just that dude. Yeah, allow me to flex my white supremacy here.
All right.
Go ahead, flex it. Let me see it.
Yeah, that dude, man, he's the worst. He's the worst. How can you say so many heinous things and then have an audience? Like, people ignore that this dude has a huge audience of kids, because it's kids. No way adults follow him. You'd have to be very young to buy into the stuff that he's saying. Like,
adults who agree with his child pornography comparisons.
Yeah. That he definitely has some in his audience. But yeah, he said some heinous things about people, and he's treading pretty deep waters, I think, with the terminologies he uses, especially as his audience grows.
Right. Interesting.
But it's funny that you said, like, with the black, there should be more people within the black community that, say, like, we're not oppressed, like, we can actually do all these things. There are those people, but like Vanessa said, they get called anti-black. And I don't know if you ever saw the video they had like black Trump supporters and Democrats, and there's one woman was like, I voted for Trump because he's actually has opportunities of a system that black people we can use. It's like, she was a felon, she was an ex-felon. She got out. She has her own business. She's a house flipper. She got her brothers and families to do it. And it's like, there's money here, and the system is set that we could use it. It's just that we just gotta put the initiative into doing it. It's not going to be handed to us. And then you had the guy who made a school. He bought a school in Georgia. He's a black man who bought a school, and he's helping the kids in his community. Like, and he said himself, he said, I'm not waiting for the government. I'm not waiting on a white person. I'm not waiting on nobody. I'm doing this for myself, for my people. And this is what we should all be doing. Stop waiting on the government. Stop waiting for white people to help. No one's going to help you. Do it yourself.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Remember when they rolled out the platinum plan, or Trump did, and then anybody who was black that supported it were like, who came out and supported it? Was it Snoop or no?
It was Ice. Was it Ice Cube?
Ice
Cube.
One of the Ices.
Ice. No, wait. Yeah, Ice Cube. Yeah. Ice Cube. He's like, hey, and then he got shredded, and I was like, come on, we can't look, a person you dislike can still do something good for your community, but instead he got shredded.
But P. Diddy didn't have a plan either.
No, but P. Diddy,
the other side didn't have a plan, so it was just
P. Diddy had a plan.
No, his plan was a Democrat plan. It was just a reskin.
P. Diddy came out with the
I feel like this is gonna be this feels like it's gonna be a joke.
P. Diddy came out with, like, what was it, the Black Plan or some shit? It was some shit.
Black Party.
The Black Party.
Yeah.
So we don't know when it's starting. Biden did win.
Yeah.
So
it might not be starting.
The plan is coming soon. We don't know when, but it's coming.
Any day now.
It's a party.
So listen.
It's so
when
stupid.
it comes,
Yeah.
I got faith in P. Diddy. Come on, he bad boy.
No.
Won't stop.
No.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Every time I think of Diddy, I think of Chappelle.
Exactly.
Like, even out,
That's the relevance.
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
Oh man,
funny,
do you think we could demonetize because we spoke bad about him?
No. If we're gonna get demonetized, it's not gonna be because of that.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's not because of that.
Yeah.
I think just the quartering being on this video, just him breathing, would demonetize it.
No, come on now.
I'm just kidding.
We're gonna get that we are catering to white supremacy. That's
right. Yeah, I mean, YouTube did say that. They were lightening up the. They were making more videos green. The last Wednesday, they came out and said that they're going to they had loosened the restrictions. Now, I haven't seen anything, but I really haven't covered anything. Like, there's a few topics that are almost always yellow, and I haven't had that yet. So I don't know if it's actually any better, but I hope it is. I hope people make more money,
Yeah.
Shoot.
I have a question, different type of question. It's a little personal.
Okay.
Does any of the vitriol that you get online, whether someone calls you a nasty name or makes a false claim about you, does it ever get to you?
No. I
No?
mean, it used to. I'm battle hardened now. Like
Yeah.
there's very few things. I think, in internet years, it's been a million, but like, after basically you've accepted that people who hate you are just going to hate you anyway, and they're the ones that are going to say the heinous stuff, that I try to not really focus on that kind of stuff. Occasionally I'll get it with somebody, but like honestly, I know that if somebody were to say something particularly heinous, I know they'd never say that to me in real life. So it's like I just know that, oh, this is some loser who wants to make themselves feel better. I often remind myself of the crabs in a bucket mentality with a lot of these people on social media, and I'm just like, man, you must be really unhappy.
Right.
So it might have, back in the day, I get upset. I used to get more upset when people would call me like transphobic or anti, because like I'm super open about my support for anybody in the LGBTQ community, but people say that stuff and it spreads like wildfire, and it's damaging. Like I only look at it like I only care because it's actually cost me sponsorships in the past. I've had to have these calls with my sponsors, like, oh, somebody sent us an email and said that you hate trans people. I'm like, what? Like my freaking video editor's a furry. Like, what do you like?
Wait,
what do you want from me? Like,
That's amazing.
But like not my current one, but when I had two, but I mean, like, I don't care about any of the stuff. And then like having to constantly fight against that with sponsors was really frustrating. But now basically it is what it is. People that narrative's kind of gone away now, because just people never had any evidence for it. He made fun of She-Ra. There's still people mad. Like if I send out a tweet about She-Ra, I'll have like angry people in my mentions for a week. But yeah. So I guess no, it doesn't bother me anymore.
Well, I mean, that's good.
Thick skin.
I think that gives a lot of, I hope it gives a lot of creators hope, because again, similar thing. At first, it got to me, and every now and then I get curious and I'll go look, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's how I found out about the white supremacist thing, because someone commented on my video. I said, oh, let me go take a peek. Yeah. So it's, after a while, my mind just got calloused, and it was just like, they're gonna hate me regardless. I could try to sit here, and I could literally just breathe, and they'll just hate me because I exist, and that's unfortunate. What you laughing at? But it's true. Where's the lie though?
I just got like an idea in my head for a video, because you breathe in the air that the white man put out for you. Not breathing black air. That's why.
That's right. Yeah, you're welcome. You're all welcome.
But
stop breathing white people air.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that if I had any advice for content creators when you engage in this, look, if you're making cat videos, you're never gonna have to deal with this, probably.
I don't want to go that far.
Hopefully. But the thing is, if people are saying things about you or making response videos, then at least that means there are people listening out there, and that you gotta think about the people that are open to your ideas or your position, not about the people that are just against it out of hand. So there may be a lot of people that watch these videos when somebody roasts you or something, but I guarantee a decent chunk of them are probably like, wait, this ain't even that bad. I used to go, when I was young, still kind of finding my way in commentary. I remember I misstepped. I was like supportive early on of James Gunn getting fired, because I was like, one eye for an eye. You got Roseanne, we got James Gunn. And then my own subscribers like, dude, no, come on, man. You said you're anti-cancel culture. This ain't it. And I like took that video down and put up another video and was like, okay. So people, your own audience will call you out. People who watch you will call you out. And if you're open to it, you can really improve. Just don't, there's so many people that are just pieces of crap and will always be a piece of crap, I guess what I'm saying. So just let it stay on the lawn and dry out. Like don't bother with it.
if your fans really cared about you, they would call you out. And
Right.
usually, you know, the people that we've talked about, I don't think their fans do. Thus, I don't think their fans actually care about them. They see them digging themselves a hole, and they just see it as entertainment. People who really support you will call you out on your shit, regardless.
And to clarify, call out as in like, let me give you criticism, not let me make a video and dog you.
Yeah, exactly. Which people think that that's content. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna put up your whole video and just talk shit the entire time. Yes, I'm
gonna purposely, remove any and all context. It's like that infamous tweet. I have that tweet where I and there you have it, yikes, where like the Hollywood guy was like, yeah, F Hitler. The entire context of that tweet was I was like, yeah, no shit. Like you're not, this isn't like, okay, there's it costs you nothing to have that position. I'm not going to thank you for it. But then like every 2 weeks, some leftist puts it up and it gets like 30,000 retweets. And I'm just like, God, like, come on, people. Like, are you willfully ignoring any context? And it's just sad.
It's funny. Remember, like Nazis are a joke. Like Nazis became like a joke back in like the early fucking like 90s and 2000s. Like you saw Nazis and they're a fucking joke. They were just like a meme. Like nobody took this seriously. Then all of a sudden it was just, if you dressed as like wore like a stormtrooper uniform, it's just like, oh, you must be a Nazi. Like,
well, the 2016 election happened. And like, that rhetoric was reinvigorated.
They took away Pepe the Frog from people.
The Amazon logo.
The Amazon logo.
That was great. Yeah, that was great. That was
who Pepe the Frog is?
Pepe the Frog? Who the hell's Pepe the? Oh, the green dude.
Yeah,
this guy? Oh.
This guy? That guy?
I don't know what he is.
He makes the face. It's the frog face.
He's a symbol of white supprency, according to
ADL. That's so annoying.
How does that happen?
Okay.
I'll tell you.
I'll
tell you how it happened. Hillary Clinton was getting destroyed by Pepe memes during the 2016 election. And then the ADL declared it a hate symbol. Which of course is ridiculous, but then they were able to then use that narrative to then call all Trump supporters like bigots and stuff, because the ADL, which is just a bully organization, another arm of the government, came out. So and then even the artist of Pepe, the original artist, like, man, you can't use Pepe anymore, which of course everyone just used more Pepes afterwards. But yeah, it was the 2016 election that all this rhetoric got rekeyed. I used to be like, when I was younger, I'd go like punk rock basement shows, and every once in a while you'd see like a skinhead, like where they were like LARPing. They had the boots and they had the skin, like a legitimate piece of shit, and like everyone just laughed at them. Like they didn't have any friends. Everybody was like, ignoring them. Now you think there's everyone on the block is, anybody who voted for Trump is obviously a Nazi.
Right. It's so, what the other interesting thing is, because we didn't really talk about politics, but very quickly, I recall when I was, I was curious to see, okay, let's see who's tweeting about me today. So I did a little search, and I recently found a thread about, it was a bunch of creators, a lot of commentators. Myself, you were in the thread. They included like a Lauren Chen and then some other like conservative creators. And it's interesting because all of these people are different. I wouldn't compare my content to yours, but people are seeing something and then grouping us all together on that thread as far right creators.
Yeah.
What are they seeing? Because I don't understand.
The way I think that they come to this classification, compartmentalizing people, is it's all related. So first, the reason they call us terrible names is to dehumanize us. then once they dehumanize you by calling you a Nazi or alt-right, like how many people are in the freaking alt-right? Like 17. But if you go on Twitter, you'd think there's 100,000 of them marching in the streets. But they dehumanize you, which then makes them feel justified in being terrible to you. Basically, what they're saying is these people are people whose opinions we don't like, but we can't really say why. So then we'll use this label alt-right. People have called me alt-right so many times, and I'm like, look, I make like, okay, how many times have I talked about a freaking ethno state? 0? Okay, well, that's kind of a core tenet of the alt-right. Do you even know what alt-right is? Well, I mean, you made fun of Star Wars. So like, people have no clue. They just use these things to justify their own bad behavior.
That's crazy. Yeah. All right. So we are at an hour. So we're almost done here. Della, did you prepare anything?
Yes, I have.
This is a new thing that we've started doing.
This is the lightning round of questions from Della. All right.
Anything goes, by the way.
Where's my paper?
I'm cool.
Wait, where's my paper? Here's my paper. All right. Weird. Got my paper. All right. When it comes to you after having an enjoyable shit and wiping, do you fold or crumble?
You asked
Crumble.
this already.
Crumble. You're a psychopath. You're a psycho. You're a psycho.
You know
Okay.
what? You use your hand.
He already asked this
Listen.
to
Can I
another
ask
guest.
my
Now
questions?
I think this is
Can
a
I-
fetish. This is a
I
Can I
wanna
fetish.
ask
be-
questions?
I want
I-
to be a bidet guy. Just side note, one day.
Okay.
I can't. One day maybe.
Just hold on. Okay.
Continue.
Yeah.
Smooth or chunky peanut butter?
Oh, creamy, smooth.
Oh, you
I
just
don't like
lost
the consistency different. Like it's smooth. I don't want a nut, like a hard
maybe-
nut in there. Chip a tooth or
like a
something.
hard nut. I gotta. Okay.
I thought this was a judgment-free zone.
I know.
Damn.
You're not safe here. This is not a safe space.
Yeah,
What do you think
yeah.
this is? All right. Final question. How do you like your bacon? Crispy, burnt, or like a little soft?
Oh, I want it to like. I want to snap it. Like
You want brittle?
I want it like. Yeah. Yeah.
He
All right.
wants to look
Well,
like you.
Yeah.
you just lost a subscriber because of these. All right. That's all I got. All right.
Well, I mean, hey, I didn't think you were that soft, but I guess.
Oh, here goes the tweets. The
Yeah.
quarterly just attacked me and
Yeah,
called me
right.
soft. The
Be
white
a
man.
black
How to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
clout 101 right there. He's composing it. Boom.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But the quarterly, thank you for answering my lightning round
Of
questions.
course. Yeah.
I now know that you're a legitimate psychopath because you crumble your toilet paper when you wipe your ass and like
well, it's
smooth
like I
peanut butter.
fold it first and then it, Oh wait,
No.
are you talking about once the shit's on the toilet paper? You neatly fold it? That's psychopathic. I'm trying to just get that thing in there. I thought you meant before, like when it was going in. It's kind of like a bunched up thing. Once the shit's on it, if you're taking time to fold it, you're a psychopath.
Dude, wait. Hold on. Let's use this paper example.
All right.
Because you get your toilet paper, right?
Yeah. All right.
You're gonna look to make sure if you got anything more to wipe.
Always.
You
Yep,
fold.
Yep. You're right. Right.
That's
Then you
two
go back.
wipes. Then you
Yeah.
get another one. You go bam. Oh,
You go 3
I got-
wipes?
No.
Oh, okay.
Three
Just
wipes,
2.
though.
Yeah. He
Oh,
did
wait,
go
you-
back for a third, right?
Listen,
Wipe,
if
fold.
you got enough toilet paper, you could.
That's a
you
fact.
could-
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
washing the hell out of your hands, Della.
But
Yeah.
the thing is,
I just take a
use-
shower afterwards.
I use baby wipes, so my ass is always.
Oh,
clean,
that's
so.
yeah. I tried to, and then I felt my ass was wet all the time. I could not get used to that. I mean,
gotta
I
mix
get
it
it.
up.
Yeah, but
Make
you
up-
gotta go dry then afterwards, right? You go. baby
No, you
wipe,
could
then
go.
dry.
You could go wet then dry, or dry then wet. Whatever your
Oh,
pleasure.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, now everybody knows about our asshole. So,
Pristine, I suppose.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Thank you for that. I'm waiting for a guest to be like, I ain't answering that. But so far it hasn't happened yet.
Well, you guys had Buck Angel on. I'm pretty sure he probably answered it.
No,
I didn't
we
get to ask him.
We didn't ask
I
him.
get to ask him.
The first one was Ariel Scarcella, and she was like,
okay.
I'll answer that. Okay. All right. Yo, so Jeremy, thank you so much for having a conversation with us. I had a blast. Hopefully everyone at home enjoyed this segment as well. Do you have any projects coming up that you're working on other than your content on YouTube?
No, I might do something. I might be doing something with a comedian soon, but we'll have to. I can't say anything about it publicly yet, but no, just grinding on YouTube for now, and I'm okay with that.
Dope.
Nice.
All right, awesome. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Hit that like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Who should we interview next on Subtweet This? Tell us in the comments below.